What's up, Eagles fans? Welcome into the Eagle Eye in the Sky. I'm Fran Duffy, and today we are going to take a look at some of the big plays, some of the pivotal moments in the Eagles' loss to the LA Rams in Week 2. I'm going to cover all of this on the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, fueled by Gatorade with Greg Cosell. You can also read my recap on PhiladelphiaEagles.com and the Eagles mobile app. That is all available right now as you are watching this video. And in fact, most of you that are watching this may want to go and listen to the podcast, and then you have these video clips to be able to scroll through as we're talking through some of these plays. And look, obviously the defense really struggled to get a really good beat on Jared Goff, Sean McVay, this whole Rams offense, and they were really able to execute their staples, their core philosophies in this game. And it all starts with play action. You have the outside run action with Jared Goff dropping back, rolling out of the pocket, and having his choice of a couple different receivers on the run, the bootleg action. Well, they were able to really keep the Eagles defense on their toes, not just with those core plays, but then also with the wrinkles off of it. Let's take a look at exactly what I mean. The LA Rams had so much success against the Eagles on Sunday with all of their staple plays. You're going to see here off run action from tight formations, jet action in the backfield. Basically, it looks like a three-level stretch off boot action. That's their bread and butter. But here, you're going to see they're going to just kind of squat down Cooper Kupp underneath. Basically, a little bit of a screen play with the misdirection element there. That goes for a big gain. A little bit later in the drive. Again, tight formation. They're in the low red zone here. Jet action with the receiver coming across the field from left to right. You've got the play action fake. Instead of this time, it's going to go to Robert Woods on an end around, and he runs into the end zone for a touchdown. Those same basic looks, tight formation, jet action, play action fake to the running back. It all looks the same, but it's a different outcome. Here, you're going to get the same kind of action, except this time, they're going to give it to the jet sweep. So there goes Cooper Kupp going the opposite way for a big gain off the jet sweep. So again, so many things you got to worry about. And when this offense gets defenses on their heels, like they had the Eagles for most of Sunday, they're really difficult to stop when everything is working like this. Again, tight formation, play action, you got the jet action. This time they're going to leak the tight end out the back door on a throwback play, and it goes for a touchdown. Whatever the Rams dialed up, the Eagles did not have an answer for most of this game. So obviously you see all the wrinkles there in those plays, but when you talk about the run game, a lot of people will say, oh, well, if you want to have a good play action pass game like we just saw, you really need to be able to run the football. With the Rams, I really feel like it's the opposite. Their play-action run game is the catalyst that allows their run game to be so effective. Really was a big factor in this game, especially on the backside of these run plays. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. A couple of key plays here for the Eagles defense. A lot of people will say that you can't have a good play-action pass game without a good run game. And I think with the Rams, with some other teams as well, it's the opposite. They have a good run game because of their play-action pass game. And I think this is a really good example of that. You're going to see here on this run play, look at everybody play side. You're going to get 97, Malik Jackson, 50, Duke Riley, Josh Sweat, setting a strong edge, forcing the cutback. And you're going to see that this run's going to hit for about 5 yards. But I want you to watch, too, 23, 31, Rodney McLeod, Nickel Roby-Coleman, backside, kind of chatter their feet because you have to worry about Jared Goff on that boot action. Those plays I showed you in the previous shot. So the defense on the backside, they are always having to worry about what's potentially coming out the back door in the pass game. Again, play side run. You're going to get good penetration from Malik Jackson and Josh Sweat. What's going to happen here on the backside of this run? You get guys sucked up against the run. Maybe they're a little bit slow to get into the backside B gap, the backside C gap. You get your defensive tackle pushed off his spot a little bit, and now the running back's able to get downhill for an X play in the run game. And then this one, late in the game, was an absolute killer. This is the 40-yarder for Darrell Henderson. Again, play side, things are looking fine. Everyone's getting upfield. You get that strong edge set, but the running back puts his foot in the ground and gets backside, and you've got defensive lineman Brandon Graham. You've got the safety Rodney McLeod maybe cheating a little bit for Jared Goff on that boot action, and now you've got the backside C gap wide open. Henderson's able to put his foot in the ground, and he goes 40 yards after a missed tackle, and it's a big play in this game. And obviously it was more than just those three run plays, right? The Rams were able to get nice chunks of yardage. It wasn't just the ones that went for 12, 13, 14 yards, but it's 1st and 10, and you can get 7, or you get 8, you get 9. Now all of a sudden it's 2nd and 1, it's 3rd and 2. You have these manageable situations for Jared Goff where, again, you roll him outside the pocket off play action. He just has a little bit of a dump off to a receiver in the flat, and he goes for 10 yards. Now all of a sudden you're rolling as an offense. You get momentum. Jared Goff feels comfortable. He feels confident. The completions start to rack up. He ended up starting this game 13 for 13. He had crazy numbers off of play action. I mentioned that in the Eagle Eye in the Sky article. So when you have the run game working, you have the play action pass game working, this offense, when it's working on all cylinders, it's very hard to stop. And the big part of that is that it's really hard to get after the quarterback. And this isn't just this game. It's any team that runs a lot of boot action. What do we say when you have a really good defensive line? You're worried about the matchup going into a game with a defensive line. You want to move the pocket. And on those plays, you see Jared Goff rolling outside the pocket. It's tough to be able to get home for sacks. So if you're a defense, you need to have success on first and second down to force them into third and long. And now you can't do all of those different things. You need to be able to drop back and make those difficult throws. The Eagles just not able to do this enough. In fact, really, if you get to third down, you look at those pass-heavy plays, you see the defensive line was able to get home. A lot of people will talk about how the defensive line didn't get enough pressure on Jared Goff, but when they were able to get into third and long, advantageous position for the defense, well, now they were able to get some pressure on Goff. You're going to see here, it's 3rd and 9. This is the first advantageous situation for the defense all day on 3rd down. You're going to get a TE stunt with Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. Graham is going to loop inside, even though they're sliding the protection that way. You get a nice pressure here from Malik Jackson. That's going to force Jared Goff to hold on to the ball a little bit. The coverage holds up. BG gets home for a sack and it knocks the Rams out of field goal range. Nice job there by the defense. The next 3rd down, a 3rd and 6. These were the 2 best 3rd downs in the game. We're 30 plays into action here defensively. And again, you're going to get good pressure from Fletcher Cox and Malik Jackson. There's no threat of the run. There's no threat of the bootleg. Both guys able to collapse the pocket, force Jared Goff to not be able to step into this throw. He's impacted, overthrows it. It's incomplete. So you get 2 snaps. You get 2 nice plays. 2nd and goal. This is a long situation after an offensive PI. And again, you see that defensive line, no threat of the boot action. Brandon Graham this time able to win his one-on-one on the perimeter. You can see he's able to rip through contact, get his hand on the throwing arm of Jared Goff, forces a slight overthrow, would have been a touchdown. BG keeps points off the board on that play. And then 3rd and 12, again, once you're in that 3rd and long situation, the defense can kind of pin its ears back. Now you've got another TE stunt. This time, instead of BG winning, you're going to see Fletcher Cox kind of win with an inside hump move against the guard. He's able to force this throw into the dirt from Jared Goff. The defense just didn't do a good enough job on 1st and 2nd down to give them advantageous looks on 3rd down. So really it was all about the Rams having so much success on 1st and 2nd down. Their average yards per play was just astronomical, both in the pass game and in the run game. That allowed them to have success on 3rd down. And when the Eagles were able to get into 3rd and long, you saw Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson, those guys able to get home against that Rams offensive line. They just weren't able to be put in those situations long enough, and that's because of a lack of discipline on 1st and 2nd down, a lack of execution as well on the run downs and on those play action passes. So defensively, it was a lot of tough sledding. We saw some good individual plays, some good individual moments, but overall, just a really tough day at the office for the Eagles defense. You go to the other side of the football, the Eagles offense, they had their share of struggles too. Obviously, there's been a lot talked about with the performance of Carson Wentz. No sacks in this game after 8 sacks last week against Washington. That is a positive. The offensive line certainly making steps in the right direction. The return of Lane Johnson helped, but really the big one was the interception in the 3rd quarter from Carson Wentz, intended for J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in the end zone on a deep post route. Let's take a look at that play. Let's take a look at the interception from Carson Wentz in the 3rd quarter. And obviously, this was a crucial play in the game. The Eagles have a little bit of momentum. They're into the red zone. And you can see out of 12 personnel, they're going to run a little naked pass play with Carson Wentz with no protection rolling to his left. They're moving the pocket with a 3-man route concept to that side. So that's the progression. Now, he's going to quickly get to the backside read, a backside post from J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, and he's going to try and fit this ball in between the 2 DBs. Obviously, an ill-advised throw. The DB makes a great play. The route could have been a little bit better. The ball wasn't great itself, but the decision, obviously, a tough one to be able to swallow, and the Rams are able to capitalize. They get the interception, and the Eagles kind of lose their momentum at that point in the game. This is one of those things. We've seen Carson Wentz make this play on the backside of route concepts numerous times throughout his career, and we will applaud when he's got the ability to fit those throws into those tight windows. In this situation, the aggressiveness worked against him, and you can see that it results in the interception. If he fits that in there, we're harping on this one as one of the highlight plays of the day, and the play that gave the Eagles the lead. It just did not happen in this matchup. And the thing is, like I said, you like the aggressiveness there. We have praised throws time and time and time again over the course of Carson Wentz's career where he is able to look at the field, say, hey, you know what, I have a three-man route concept to one side, but I really like this isolation route on the backside, and I'm going to quickly get there, whether it's a backside dig or a go route or a post, or he's going to say, you know what, I like this matchup more, and he's able to quickly get rid of the football on that one. Look, the corner made an outstanding play. The route from J.J. Arcega-Whiteside wasn't the best route in the world, and the ball placement from Carson wasn't the best. So I think when you throw all of that together, that leads to the interception at the end of the day. In that scenario, in that situation, that part of the game, the Eagles getting some momentum back. They were able to kind of close the gap. The defense was able to get a couple of consecutive stops. That was just a tough one, a really unfortunate turnover there for the Eagles, and they really were unable to kind of rebound from that. Only 3 points in the second half. So obviously, look, a really tough loss for this Eagles team. A couple of bright spots to me that stood out to me, though. One, I thought we saw some more good things from Jalen Reagor, the rookie first-round pick. Let's take a look at some of those plays. I thought Jalen Reagor made some tough catches in this game. Now, this first one, not in that category, but you're going to see him brought from right to left here. You're going to get the run action fake in the backfield. Look what that does to the second and third level defenders for the LA Rams. That allows Reagor to sneak into the flat. Nice, easy layup for Carson Wentz. Eagles get a first down. You see the speed there from Jalen Reagor, but he's not just a gadget guy because you could have him run over the middle of the field, and he made some tough catches in this game. He took a shot on the goal line. That was a helmet-to-helmet that went back for a penalty. He had another tough shot along the sideline. Here you're going to see him early in the game run a little bit of a dig route. It's a high-low concept against the Rams zone coverage. He's going to take a shot from the backside linebacker here, the backside safety, makes this catch, secures the football, holds on to it. Really nice, tough grab for Jalen Reagor in the middle of the field. And I've been impressed with his ability to work in traffic really since training camp. We've seen him running those slants, those digs, routes like that ever since he stepped on the field in this Eagles offense. He's not just a gadget weapon, not just a deep threat guy. That's what's impressed me most about the Eagles' first-round pick is that he's going to do some of the dirty work as well in the middle of the field. A little bit later, you see what he can be as well as a decoy, and you're going to see him here come in orbit motion before the snap, off the play fake. You're going to see how that affects the second-level defenders for the Rams, and then they're going to throw a screen back to Boston Scott the other way. Outstanding blocking, by the way, by Nate Herbig. You see Jason Kelsey out there as well. Nice run by Boston Scott after the catch, but that all starts with the eye candy of Jalen Reagor in the backfield. Then another nice week two here for Jalen Reagor. And that's been one of the things, I said it, in that clip, going back to training camp, day one. It's not just, Jalen Reagor, he's a gadget guy. You're going to get him on screens and throw him the deep ball. He could be a functional part of your offense, working in the middle of the field. You throw him slants, you throw him digs, you let him do some of the dirty work. He has made some tough catches over the middle, not just here in this game, but in the course of practice as well. I've been really impressed with what Reagor has been able to do so far here in Philadelphia. Really excited about his future. We saw some more good things from him on Sunday against the Rams. He was the first-round pick. We also got a first taste of the second-round pick. Jalen Hurts getting 3 snaps in this game on offense. We're going to take a look at 2 of those snaps right here. All right, let's take a look at a couple plays where Jalen Hurts, the second-round pick, is on the field for the Eagles. You see him here in the backfield, split backs opposite Miles Sanders. They're going to fake the bubble screen to Miles on the left. Then they're going to turn and fake the bubble to Jalen Hurts on the right. Look at that wide gap in the middle of the field for Dallas Goedert. We've seen the Chiefs run this with Travis Kelce. These middle screens work really, really well when executed at a high level, and that's exactly what the Eagles got on that play in the second quarter. That helped lead the Eagles to a touchdown. Really good creativity from the Eagles offensive coaching staff, working with 2 high-end athletes, obviously, in the backfield of Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts. Really good job to get Dallas Goedert open in the middle of the field. Now, we're going to go to another play later in the quarter where this time you're going to see Jalen Hurts in the slot. And before the snap, you can see everybody kind of pointing in that secondary. He's going to be brought in orbit motion. They're going to fake the end around to Jalen Hurts, but instead hand this ball off in a little bit of a counter belly play to Miles Sanders. He's able to make one-man miss and get the Eagles inside the 5-yard line. So 3 plays total from Jalen Hurts. We're seeing 2 of them here where he's used his kind of eye candy in the backfield, helped create some misdirection plays for the Eagles and some nice little chunk plays for Dallas Goedert and Miles Sanders. So you like the creativity there from the Eagles offensive coaching staff, getting Jalen Hurts on the field with Carson Wentz, allowing him to be a decoy. You saw him in the backfield. You saw him in the slot. There was another play where he was lined up out wide and kind of ran a little bit of a fade on the goal line. So you see him moved around the formation, used in different ways, used to create some space there for both Dallas Goedert and Miles Sanders. Very cool to see that. Hopefully kind of a sign of things to come with Jalen Hurts and what he can be in this Eagles offense as the backup quarterback to Carson Wentz. Now, the last thing I want to hit on, the offensive line. I talked about it, no sacks in this game, which was great to see, but I was more impressed, honestly, in the run game. I thought you saw some really good things with both Nate Herbig and Lane Johnson working together. You saw some good stuff as well from Jason Kelce and Matt Pryor as well on the play side of some runs. So you saw some good movement with some double teams, but I was more impressed with some of the communication we saw on the backside. Let's take a look at a couple of those. Saw a lot of great things from the offensive line, obviously in pass protection, but in the run game as well against LA. You're going to see the backside double team here by Nate Herbig and Lane Johnson. Really, you see Nate Herbig climb immediately to the second level. Great reach block by Lane Johnson. Look at the alley they create for Miles Sanders. He's able to basically walk in for a touchdown here inside the 5-yard line. Great job by Herbig and Lane Johnson on that play. And it wasn't the only time that we saw those two work together in concert. Again, watch these guys. This time on the front side of this play, we're going to get now the opposite. Watch Herbig reach the defensive end. You see Lane Johnson get up to the second level, create that alley along the sideline for Miles Sanders to be able to work off of. He's able to stick his foot in the ground and get downhill. Nice job by both players working together on that one. And then let's just take a look here on the opposite side. Jason Kelce working alongside Matt Pryor. He's obviously going to get the look here with Isaac Seumalo on the sideline. You see here the nice double team. They get great movement on the 3 technique. Look at the softness. Look at the amount of space that Miles Sanders has to be able to work. He works off that double team, gets downhill. The Eagles making some strides along the offensive line as those guys start to come together with all those injuries. So great stuff there from Nate Herbig and Lane Johnson. We saw the play from Jason Kelce and Matt Pryor as well. I thought the offensive line really rebounded well in this game. They did some nice things to keep Aaron Donald and that Rams defensive front at bay. Carson Wentz did take some shots, some violent shots in this game, but he was able to get the ball out. He made some really smart decisions with the football, understanding, you know what, this play is not here to be made. I'm going to throw this one away, or I'm going to try and take the check down. He did a nice job in this game of mitigating some of that risk against that Rams pass rush. So, obviously, look, a disappointing start to this Eagles season. They start 0-2. No one really thought that was in the cards for this team coming into the season. Now it's about how they respond to this adversity. We will be talking all about that on the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, fueled by Gatorade. Myself and Greg Cosell. Early in the week, myself, Ben Fennell. Later in the week, we've got Eagles Game Plan with Ike Reese and Greg Cosell, John Clark, Mike Quick. We're going to be breaking it all down. I had a breakdown with Doug Peterson as well. Make sure you catch that later this week on Eagles Game Plan. Until then, we will talk to you next week here on the Eagle Eye in the Sky segment right here on our Eagles YouTube page.